Assalamualaikum and good morning everybody. I am Khairul Nisa Othman, Kampung Baru Development Corporation CEO. Now today we are currently doing a conference because Kampung Sungai Baru are being redeveloped as per an agreement with the resident almost a decade ago. However, since the start of the redevelopment, a rumor surrounding the redevelopment caused a huge uproar and recently a protest at the construction site. There's also much confusion between Kampung Sungai Baru and Kampung Baru which makes the opposition deepens. Today, I am joined with Director of Federal Territories Land and Mine, Federal Government Attorney, which represent the redevelopment and Minister of Federal Territories in Prime Minister's Department to further explain on this matter.
Hello, I'm Sufi from YG Studio. So I want to ask question to Khairul Nizam Othman. So how are the residents of Kampung Sungai Baru compensated for the land?
Nearly 63 million Malaysian ringgit were paid as compensation for the homeowners of Kampung Sungai Baru. As per government rate, for every square foot, the homeowners are compensated for 400 ringgit. The homeowners will also be given new properties, with flat owners given the replacement home valued in the range between 800,000 Malaysian ringgit to 1 million Malaysian ringgit. The terrace homeowners will also be given replacement home, which is valued between 2 million ringgit and 8 million ringgit.
Alright, so second question. Why are Kampung Sungai Baru the one being redeveloped?
Since 2010, the resident of Kampung Baru has formed an association group with Kampung Sungai Baru Property Owners Welfare Association. This project is meant to replace the existing 228 new residential units, as the project covers 3.2 hectare of land. As currently the land has 410 residential units with a total of 2,000 residents. The idea is to further enhance the area and has been in discussion and progress for 13 years now, as per Kampung Baru Development Corporation PKB since December 1, 2012. Meetings and talks with the residents have been ongoing since then to discuss further for the development of the area.
Hello, I am FATIN from FN Media. So I have one question to ask to Datuk Muhammad Yassin Yahya. Sir, does the land acquisition process for the Kampung Sungai Baru redevelopment continue?
Okay, so the land acquisition process will continue as per usual because they are follow the standard operation procedure as been fulfilled by the contractor and has abided by the law since the beginning of the redevelopment. And the company also have been accompanied by the legal and consultant firm, so that they can ensure that the process legally valid and have the approval of the majority of the affected residents, which is around 80% of the total. Yes.
So the next question is, there are several disagreements and dissatisfaction from several original residents regarding the compensation. So what are your thoughts regarding this issue?
Okay, I understand there are several homeowners, especially from the terrace and landed homeowners, that mentioned that the compensation are not enough or matched with the value of their land. But the land value have been decided by several entities, such as Valuation and Property Survey Department, which are government agency that oversee the all land value in Malaysia, and also have private real estate appraisal. Any dissatisfaction from any party has the right to appeal the compensation via court. There will be no obstacle for them to appeal, and the government fully support their action.
I have a last question. The people in Malaysia, especially in social media, have wrongly accused the developer and government because they think that Kampung Baru is actually being redeveloped. So, what is your insight on this and what is the difference between the two of them?
Okay, thank you. That is an interesting question. That we explaining also. Actually, Kampung Baru is actually a large area that has been established under British rule and British colonial administration from the 1899. Kampung Baru land area has about 180 hectares, and most of it are under Malay Reserve Land status under Kampung Baru. There are also 7 villages under it, and each village has own community and land ownership. The village under Kampung Baru is Kampung Periuk, Kampung Hujung Pasir, Kampung Masjid, Kampung Pindang, Kampung Atas A, Kampung Atas B, and lastly is Kampung Sungai Baru, which is that we are being discussed lah. Okay, you know why? Kampung Sungai Baru is a specific land section within Kampung Baru. The place is located in the western side of the Kampung Baru, and the land area is around 9.6 acres. The key fact is most of Kampung Sungai Baru is not under Malay and human settlement, and most of it are known of Mas. Okay, this is the reason why Kampung Sungai Baru is the first village to undergo the major redevelopment. The redevelopment will be a benchmark and a case study for other villages and towns in Malaysia in the future to undergo major development. Okay, that's all.
Okay, hello, I'm Yang from Media Prima. So I want to ask question to attorney. So first question, could you provide further details on the legal foundation for the Kampung Sungai Baru land purchase?
Indeed, the acquisition was carried out in accordance with Section 4 and 8 of the Land Acquisition Act of 1960, which allowed the government to buy private land for public purposes. Following the issuance of all legalities, in fact, owners were given the opportunity to express their objection through the proper procedure.
Okay, second question. Some resident complains that they were not given enough information or that the process was rushed. What is your response?
We acknowledge their worries, but I want to make it clear that all action were legal. The purchase procedure was made public and official announcements were given. The land administrator responded to all hearings and comments before proceeding. This was not a hurry or spring decision.
Alright, last question for the attorney. So the opposition claims that compensation was unfair. How did the government determine the compensation amount?
The composition was based on independent professional valuation reflecting current market value. Additionally, residents are offered temporary rental support and the opportunity to move into modern housing unit once the redevelopment is complete. The goal is not to take away their homes, but to give them the ones.
Assalamualaikum, I am Mashita. I want to ask question to Federal Territories, which is Dr. Zayang Mustafa. Doctor, can you clarify the actual status of Kampung Sungai Baru land? Was it ever gazetted as Malay Reserve Land or part of the Malay Agricultural Settlement MAS?
Correct. Kampung Sungai Baru was never gazetted as a Malay reserve land or part of the Malay Agricultural Settlement. Part of the land is already owned by the developers and individual unit owners. So gazetting it would require full consent from all landowner owners.
My second question is, what is the current status of compensation for residents who disagree with the project?
All compensations have been fully paid between February 2022 and January 2023. So the amount varied depending on the property type, flats, terrace houses, and so on. The compensation package also covered recollections, expenses, rental costs, valuation fees, and loss of income.
So, when is the redevelopment expected to begin and what approvals have been obtained so far?
So the redevelopment is expected to begin in the first quarter of 2026. The developer has already obtained layer training, permission and building erection approval. Thank you.